Alright everybody, welcome to a new playthrough of Conquest of Elysium 3. I love this game. Great, simple fun. So that's what we're here for. We're going to create a random map. We're going to random age. We're going to go on a huge map. It's a lot bigger. The game will take a little bit longer, but we'll have some fun. Actually, no, I like large. Large is good. We'll do clustered start. We're only going to do 3 players. And we're going to go with, I think, what is it, Knight is like 100% resources? It goes like 50, 75, 100, 150. I know like Emperor's like a lot more. It's like 400%. We're going to go on... I don't think I've ever beaten Marquis. I think I've beaten Count before, but I'm not sure. So let's go with Marquis. We'll see if I can do this. Might lose. I'm going to go with a Warlock. Takes a little bit of time to build them up, but they are worth it. We are... Come on, capitalize it, man. Okay, not gonna let me capitalize it. Warlock Mal. We're Warlock Mal. Alright. So, just a quick overview. In this game, you are pretty much a super... No, you're a society of like a special caster of some kind, or representing a monstrous race. That's Conquest of Elysium 3. Anything from demonologists to me, like warlocks, to even Roman senators, you know, gathering up armies. And each of them have play styles, like big rules that they play by. And you basically want to conquer the whole map that you're on, gather resources, build gigantic armies, and just win through conquest. That's the game as a whole. So, let's get through it here. I'm going to go ahead and transfer units. You have to do this in order to hold everything here. Now, we want to get gold, and our other special resource for our race, for warlocks, is gems. So we want to conquer mines, like right here. That is excellent. Now, we do need something to defend this place, so I'm going to go ahead and hold off on this, because this place gives us 2 gems, and you see that shield down there? That means that all of our units get 1 armor. Armor just soaks 1 damage right off the top. So if you can give your troops a lot of armor, hey, pretty good place to hold. And there's only 1 slinger here. Here's Bog Beast. You can always right-click to see kind of what their abilities are. Poison Bite. They don't have any armor. 19 hit points. So our troops should be able to hold if we move. Scouting in this game, extraordinarily important. So let's go ahead and go. Now, let's take a look at our guy real quick. This is Mal. Warlock Mal, the Warlock of Fire. We have 5 hit points. Anything even breathes on us, we die. But we are a level 2. Where does it say we're level 2? I think it's somewhere else. Oh wait, cast spells, level 2 spells. Pyromancy up to level 2. We actually have other spells that I can look at other than these. So we have Fire Resistance, Blood Boil, Meteor, Summon Fire. Summon Fire grants 1 to 2 lesser fires that we summon. Meteor hits one enemy from 1 to 20. And extra effect, once target is hit, is some extra fire damage. So Blood Boil is just like, hey, 1 to 15 points of damage. So he'll either attack with his club. He'll do this in the game. He'll cast a spell that's up to level 2. One of these 3. It's random. And then he'll use his staff if he can. Now my apprentice, same kind of way. He casts a spell. He's only level 1. Hippomakos. And he has Gust of Wind and Earth Grip. I think, yeah, he's not specialized yet. Warlocks, whenever they become level 2, become specialized by the type of gem that you use. So, and basically, troops are going to take turns attacking. Like these dwarves, they're tough. They have an axe. You know, they hit from 1 to 5. They have 1 armor, so they take 1 less damage from attacks. They also have a shield, which means they have a 20% chance to pretty much reduce incoming damage by 4. That's huge. Like, take a look at our guys right here. The spears, yeah, 1 to 5. So there's a chance that my guys will just deal no damage to them, 20% of the time. So here we go. My guy just summoned up some fires. The archers are firing now. I'm just speeding through the battle. Our fire elementals are fighting. There we go. We should wreck them easily. There we go. So our turn passed. No one attacked our territory. And you do want to avoid things like that have poison, because they can just instantly wipe out whoever they attack. So you want to be able to hold territory, but you need to also scout. So those are the principles of the game. By scouting means we need to branch out and kind of see what's around here. But that's dangerous, because we could run into something that's like really tough. So you will lose the game if you lose all of your commanders, if you lose all of your citadels. See that little crown next to the shield? That's a citadel. So if you lose all those, you can have multiple of them. That's where you recruit troops. You lose the game. So with that being said, we have special powers. So this guy, the Warlock of Fire, he has lesser fire summoning, air summoning, earth, and greater fire. All of my fire spells are going to be cheaper than anything else. The Ritual of Fire Mastery allows me to become a level 3 Warlock for 150 gems, so it's going to take me a while to get there. We are currently in the season of summer. Winter has you producing a lot less gold, so you basically want to save up your gold and get everything done before you need it in the winter, basically, for restocking troops. For recruiting units, we recruit units from our town right here. It's everything from spear to swords to archers, crossbowmen. Crossbowmen hit harder, but they have to take a turn to reload, as you can see right here. Archers can fire every round, but they are a lot weaker, 1 to 4 for their bow. So you have heavy infantry, which has armor, a little bit more damage, plus they have their large shield, which is a 30% chance, so it's 10 higher, but they're slow. They only have a movement of 2. Movement is right up here. See these 3 dots? That means that's how far that commander can move. Troops cannot move without a commander. Like these guys, they're forever stuck here until I recruit another commander. So, there's reasons why you'd want to burn a forest. There's other races in this game that use forests for resources, but we won't get into that right now until it comes up. Ah, here's an iron mine. But these guys are tough. 24 and 24. There's their commander. These guys are nothing. But these Obakumono, they're tough. They can squash my guys pretty fast. So, we could take this and get 3 earth gems a turn. That's pretty good. And we get 2 iron and 2 gold. The hammers are iron. And that allows us to build catapults, which we need for sieging. So let's do it. I think we'll be okay. But let's see. It'll be a close one. There we go. We got some fire summons. So these guys, they have ethereal, which means there's a 75% chance that normal weapons just miss them. Perfect for fighting these normal guys. They also never heal, they're immune to poison, they're mindless, and they have lesser flame strike as their attack. So they're pretty damn good. Because of them, we win the battle. It's important to be able to gauge like how you can win battles before you start engaging them. So, we have 2 boars. These guys can gore, they're fast, they have berserker, which gives them some bonus whenever they get really low in hit points. But they're kind of shit. So, we don't really have any forces to scout right now. We've kind of expended everything we can. So really, what we're looking to do is to... see here, we have a captain for 49, but we can't afford him. So right now, we're just going to save up some gems. And what we can do is transfer units. Transfer this guy out. His special ability, yeah, see, he'll be able to do everything. Our guy, our main Warlock of Fire, he can't do water at all. But this guy can. So we can have water elementals because of him if we had like sapphires, for instance. But we don't. We're getting emeralds and rubies. So we'll need to save up and get some really supernatural troops going. Let's go ahead and transfer him back in. And I think we're going to want to kind of camp here at this iron mine. Unless something nasty comes our way. Hopefully we can just hold on to this coal mine. If we don't, it's okay. I'd rather hold on to the iron mine, because that gives us a lot more. Warlock's Apprentice for 70. I really wish we could afford it. We just can't. Winter is here. Now, our income for gold, nothing. We're still getting a good amount of iron and everything else, but eh. Now, the computers is getting at least a bonus of at least like 250% or something like that. Close to 300. So, we are going to avoid battles for them and really try to scout. Now, if they come down and harass us, we need to run. That's our only chance of survival. Sometimes you just can't even help it. The AI is really bad. That's the one thing we got going for us here. Otherwise, they would just totally demolish us. Pyromancer and a scout. Alright, so now what we want to do is use special power, and we're going to go with an earth summoning. There we go. Now, thankfully, our class has a 100% chance to control whatever he summons. Other classes, they don't. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, let's take a look at our new troops that we just summoned. These guys are awesome. Rumble Earth. They have extra effect if the target is affected, so it deals 1 to 2 damage. It affects 3 enemies. That's great. And it also can stun them if they get hit by the damage. Now this damage, it goes right through armor. So so armor doesn't affect it. Shields can still affect it, though, I'm pretty sure. They also have a fist. So whenever they attack during their turn, they're going to use Rumble Earth first, and then they're going to hit with their fist. They have 1 armor. They're immune to charm, mind effect, sleep, poison. They also have mountain move, which isn't important for us. Unless we had a commander that was mountain move. So now that we have that, we can scout around a little bit. Be careful. In the winter, it takes extra movement to get around. Alright, now we can do fire. Let's do a lesser fire summoning. So here we go. These guys are permanent. Sometimes you'll get, like, I think it's like a random amount, like 1 to 5, something like that. So sometimes you'll get a shit amount, sometimes you'll get a good amount. Here's a troll, and this place gives us diamonds. Now, trolls are tough. 56, they have regeneration, which means they heal 1/10 of their hit points each round. They can deal a lot of damage, but these guys that surround him are weak. So it might be very well worth it to take this. We just have to really make sure that you outnumber them. That's the #1 thing. Look at your numbers. This game's about your numbers. Then look at the special abilities, like what's their main offense? Well, he's using a club. Well, as it turns out, you know, our fire elementals, 1 second. Yeah, our fire elementals, well, they are ethereal, so that's really good. So if he chooses to hit one of them, he's not going to be, like, bothered. Now, these earth creatures, they're going to be bothered, you know, by it. They're going to probably die in 1 hit. But against all these other fucks, they might not even take damage. And we could probably blow up most of these guys with Rumble Earth. And if he gets stunned by a Rumble Earth, that's the rest of the battle for us. So it's looking pretty much like it's in our favor to take it. Let's go. Alright, so I like to save up enough gold during my first run of the game until I get over pretty much like close to 200 gold, because I want to recruit apprentices, I want to recruit wizards, and old wizards if I can get one. Old wizards are really rare, and they're level 3 spellcasters, so they can cast some mean shit. Oh, also, if you right-click in your commander, this is where you can change your memorized spells. We don't need fire resistance. I would like blood boil instead, so that's good. Also, let's transfer our guy out, and let's take a look at his spells. Okay, so he only has the 2. That's fine. Let's leave him in there. Our little place is pretty safe. Now, if it looks like there's a lot of danger in the beginning of the game near your place, recruit some extra troops. You know, don't wait, you know, for like the 200 gold. I'm just saying for my circumstances, it's better. So here we go. They get first strike since they're defenders. Here we go, Rumble Earth. He did not get stunned. But there you go, 50. He just died. Holy shit. Alright, so we now have 2 mines. That is excellent. Now, we really want to be able to hold these. You know, it's going to be hard to hold this stuff, so you just kind of scout around a little bit. So with this, we're going to easily be able to build up an army. It takes us about probably 10 turns, I would say, before we can do any summoning, but our troops are awesome. Look at this. They all survived. They all did really well. So we can afford to clean up some of the creeps. If we want. Oh, we moved onto a swamp, which are hard to move through. There we go. So, this is kind of some shitty areas. Here's a bridge. That's good to know. So we'll probably take this farm. Let's end our turn. There we go. Uh-oh. So there was creatures here that were in the forest that were stealthed. So we're going to have to fight them now. Hopefully it's not like a horror or something that's going to kill us. That can happen in this game. Just sucks. Here's another coal mine with diamonds. Yes. That's excellent. Okay, so this, a Venus trap, we will be okay. Nothing crazy about that. Okay. Very good. Now, troll and 12 goblins. Let's wait a turn and then fight them. There we go. And whenever you move over something like this, like hills where it's taking up more AP, next turn we'll start with less AP. Now, Ancient Forests, you definitely want to clear them out. Now, this guy's fucking a nightmare. He gets 3 attacks around, a beef load, a fucking boatload of hit points, man. But Ancient Forests will spawn animals continuously, unless you take them over and burn them to the ground, which we are going to do because we don't want snakes and deer and everything else taking over our, our mountains and our mines and everything like that. So as soon as we think we are able to, we need to take that out. Okay. Let's use a special power. Earth Summoning. There we go, building our army. Alright, so he is good. Let's make sure they're transferred. Usually when they summon, they automatically do that. We'll take that coal mine. We should be looking good. And I recommend the Roman Senator for beginners, if you're new to this. The Warlock is good because it's 100% controlling of his summons, but it can be really random what mines you're going to get. So you'll struggle with some of the randomness in this game. Some of it is just... I don't think it should be designed that way, but unfortunately it is. There we go. So we did lose some troops. Nothing crazy. And you always want archers in your army, no matter what. You want ranged units. Fucking sea dog. Wouldn't be surprised if he took over our coal mine. Alright, but we're doing really well. We can now get a catapult, which we can use for sieges. Basically, they fire anywhere on the battle map. 1 to 30 damage. Usable once every 2 rounds. So yeah, they'll just squash things. But they can only be used in maps where there's like a siege icon. Where is it? Yeah. So where, like you see at this guard tower, it has a catapult sign. That means you can use catapults there to attack. So that's extremely useful. But yeah, otherwise here, you know... I'm sorry. Let me take that back. You can use siege weapons in any battle, but they only fire once every 2 rounds. But if you put them in the battle like this, where it has like the catapult icon, that means siege weapons get 5 free rounds of firing, and they can fire every round. So it's pretty damn spectacular. So you want to keep up your iron supply for those, and that applies to every race. Every race, I believe, can get those siege weapons. Alright, so now where do we want to go? Well, we're getting close to being able to summon again. So let's see here. We have 10. I'd say let's consolidate for right now. Be able to take back everything. We have a good amount of resources. I'd love to kill this guy. And winter's here. So we're at the 127 mark for gold. I'm thinking we're pretty good. So, yeah. And also, you want to be able to have scouts whenever they do come up, because they have a bigger range of vision, I believe. Alright, let's go ahead and use our special power. Yes! A regular fire elemental. Flame strike 1 to 25. They have a fire R of 3. Any unit attacking this will take 3 fire damage. Immunity, of course, to all sorts of stuff. Ethereal, which is a big one for the beginning of the game. 30 hit points, which is huge. 6 magic resist. Yes. And then we want air. Oh, yeah. Air is so good. So Gust of Winds affects 5 enemies, hits them for 1 to 5, and if they're hit, they get stunned. And, yeah, the strength negates it. So they have an air shield, which means standard missile attacks will miss them. And they fly, of course, which isn't too useful without like a commander, but they are ethereal. Also, then they have Project Lightning, which affects 1 enemy, strikes anywhere, stuns them, and it also pierces through armor. So it's awesome. There we go. So that's pretty much all the mechanics here we're working with in the beginning of the game. I'm not sure if we can take on this guy. He just hits so damn hard, and he hits 3 times. Really don't like that. Where can we explore? We could come across here. We could go a little bit bigger. Let's try that out. So graveyards are another place you want to like burn down or keep occupied, because they'll continuously spawn undead. There's a sea dog. He might take our coal mine. But I think otherwise we're doing pretty good for the beginning. We've got some good stuff to, you know, considering. See, these snakes, they're gonna come and probably take our thing. So let's just kill them. Good thing most of our guys are immune to poison. There we go. Other races, you're not gonna be so fortunate. You just have to suffer through it. There we go. And we're slowly beefing up our army. Now, eventually, you're going to want to save up some stuff, some gems, if you're playing a warlock, to go ahead and advance, you know, to your mastery. But for right now, it's all good. And be careful of advancing like this. Right now, we can kind of get away with it because we don't think the enemy is near. But sometimes the enemy can spawn next to you, and we'll see like a huge army of like 300 units or something crazy, and we'll just get our ass kicked. And you've got to play some cat and mouse. Wait for the AI to kind of split their army up a little bit. Well, guys, we've established a solid foothold here on Elysium. On the next one, we continue the Warlock's March. Catch you then.